ballpark. It's a very major league facility now. And I just sensed a different air of people are more on point, professional. In spring training every year, it's always very regimented. But I just sensed a little more that this team is really, really on point and feels they had a chance to win.
And I always thought you needed no introduction. It's not just the manager who changes the culture, it's the players in the clubhouse as well. And nobody does that more effectively than the heralded right-hander, Matt Scherzer.
Keith, if you're talking about professionalism, you're talking about one of the best. I'll tell you, I'm not shocked by much anymore. I was shocked when I heard the Mets had signed Matt Scherzer and that he now compliments the ace, Jacob Degrom, what he's done in his career. 8 top 5 in the Cy Young, including 3 Cy Youngs.
All right, we are going to be doing card openings as well during this live stream. Let me see. Yes, I'll be opening up these ancient minor league baseball cards. This is Star minor league baseball cards, Stars of Tomorrow Today. Well, this is 33 years ago now, 1989. Box is practically falling apart. Let's see. Come on. This Scotch tape is stronger than the fucking box. Here we go. And this is the second series. Got a bunch of packs. Smells like it's been in storage forever. This is from 1989. Let me get a first pack open up here. Not today. I will open 22 tops. I'm going to be doing a lot more card openings. Let me see. There we go. All right, let's see what these cards actually look like. We got Sandy Alomar Jr. with the San Diego Padres. Of course, they would trade him. He won a Rookie of the Year at an All-Star MVP. Good career. This is a guy, where is he from? Playing for Miami. Not sure. Miami Miracle. I don't even know what team they were with. This is Michael Maxudian. Never heard of him. Jose Trujillo. Playing for Hamilton. I never even heard of him. It's another guy I never heard of. Jim Orsag, New Britain Red Sox. Never heard of him. Julio Vargas. Nope. Eric Alexander. Brett Heffernan. Richard Shackle. Ron Morton. And Maximo Allies. So I would say out of the first pack, we got one hit and the rest were shit. One hit and the rest were shit. I'll put the hits over here. Let's see if we get a second pack open before the first pitch. All right, we got, let's see. Another Jim Orzag. Jamie Roseborough. This is the quality of players the Mets were getting in the late 80s. Kevin Belcher. Tito Stewart. Vincent DeGavicchio. Never heard of this guy either. Michael Maxudian again. Jeff Fry. Now, this guy had a somewhat of a career. We got Wes Chamberlain. I remember him coming up with the Phillies at one point. We got Eric Jackus. Here's another Met. John Johnstone. I mean, this is how the Mets went into the absolute toilet in the early 90s. They had literally did not have a single player that they picked in the minors do anything. These are 1989 star cards. 1989 star minor league cards. See the third pack. Oof, these cards are so crusty. Here it is. The players in Series 2 were chosen from more than 1,425 minor league players representing over 55 teams licensed to Star. And this was a company out of Cherry Hill, New Jersey, Star International. I'm not sure they're still around. We got Mickey Pena, Vincent Del Gilifio again, Lem Plocado, Dave Miller. Oh, this is a hit. Joey Bell. This guy actually, if you look at his stats, probably should be in the Hall of Fame. Of course, he hated the name Joey and eventually became Albert Bell. But yeah, Joey Bell. He had a good career. This is actually a good card. Tom Hartgrove, Jim Hvidia, another guy who never sniffed the majors, Pedro Munoz, Ernie Baker. I will not be going to the first USFL game. I'm going to go to a USFL game, but not the first one. Mets opening weekend is that weekend. Steve Callahan. All right, let's see. All right. You know, that's what's going to be one thing about this year's spring training. You're not going to see a lot of those minor leaguers you see because of how truncated spring training is. Hopefully next year I'll make it to Port St. Lucie. I would always want to go in the first week. See a lot of the young players, the younger players. I tried that Coke coffee last year. Check out my videos. David Peterson, what a terrible season he had last year. David Peterson was injured. They gave his number to Javier Baez. Javier Baez is gone. Now he got his number back. Well, the Mets are toast because Eric Adams, sniffling press secretary. And the both of them are laughing.
Unless things have changed, and I know Brandon did a great job in center field last year, but the last time I watched him play a lot, Marte was a game changer in center field. It would be interesting if those metrics have changed.
Well, and that's something that you're going to have to keep an eye on. The Mets brought in an incredible group of quality people. Talking about Scherzer and Escobar.
Hello.
And Marte.
How are you?
You keep asking me to go live, and now you're calling me while I go live.
I'm not asking you to go live. I'm just trying to check in with you.
Well, I'm live right now.
You're live right now?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, awesome. Well, I was just thinking about you because I was thinking about the Dolphins and the fact that we really lucked out not getting Deshaun Watson and we're losing the rest of our franchise history.
All right. Well, I'll talk to you later.
All right, my friend.
Peterson's first pitch to Tommy Edman is outside. We're under. Edman had more at bats than any player in the National League last year, 641 of them. He's moved through a lot of cards over the course of his career, but now he's found a home in second base.
In fact, they made room for him by getting rid of Colton Wong or not signing him, so that opened that second base spot.
And they figured that they were sacrificing defense to do that. So what does Tommy Edman do? He goes out and hits a gold glove. Popped up on the right side. Keep coming toward the target. And just enough room to make it. And that's the first down of the day.
Well, Pete negotiating the tarp there. Very nicely done. I like the lacing on that glove. That's beautiful. We were talking to Pete before the game. He was showing us that glove. It's a big lead glove right there.
He has reiterated that he plans to win a gold glove one of these days.
Love it.
He's going to have some pretty hefty competition now in the National League with Matt Olson now having moved over to play for the Braves.
He gets one. He and Hernandez will have 12 between them. And you've also got the Cardinal first baseman with Ford and Paul Goldsmith.
Who stands in the batter's box now. Goldschmidt now in his fourth year with St. Louis. That's hard to believe.
That doesn't seem like it's been there that long.
31 home runs, 99 RBIs last year for Goldschmidt. Finished sixth in the MVP balloting last year.
Scored over 100 runs.
One foul. Goldschmidt always in that group at the top of the MVP ballot. He's never won one, but he's come awfully close.
One of the few ball players.
Max need Peterson to be good. They need a lefty.
Goldsmith's just really not only a great fielder, a great all-around player, but a smart player as well. Stole 12 bases last year, wasn't caught once.
Peterson misses already in this 3-2. Tyler O'Neill waiting on deck. It's awfully unusual in spring training to see a team bring this regular a lineup to a road game, but that's the nature of the shortened spring.
Well, you know, here, this would have been on a regular spring training. It would have been the 23rd game of spring training.
It's only normal in his first year as Cardinals.
Why do teams have this insistence to put color on color? You can't see the fucking logo. These spring hats are terrible. I don't understand the blue on the blue, the red on the red. I could barely see that cardinal on the Cardinals hats. Oh, Conforto to the White Sox.
They were 8 games out of the second wild card right before the trading deadline, and they made the deals for John Lester and Jay Hack, and everybody was saying,
Michael Conforto is going to bat. Michael Conforto is too stupid to have a good. Oh, Jesus. David Peterson sucks. David Peterson fucking sucks. The Mets will probably be better off if he starts the year in fucking Syracuse.
So now Nolan Arenado in his second season with the Cardinals, perennially among the National League RBI leaders. Over 105 last year, and he gets an immediate RBI opportunity.
34 home runs, that time for the team in the league with Tyler O'Neill at 34. Led the team in RBI.
This was a very aggressive Cardinals offense last year. A half swing on a slider, and he went around. Nothing in one. They were second to last in the National League in walks last year. But they hit 198 home runs and makes up for a lot. Dave Pearson competing for a depth spot in the Mets rotation with the acquisition of Chris Bassett that, as of now, leaves him on the outside looking in. Good change up on Pearson, that's over 2.
He's in a precarious spot because of that. Provides that depth as a starting pitcher. They don't really have traditional long men like they used to. But there is a small opening because of the departure of Aaron Luke, that a left-handed reliever on the bullpen. Maybe he gets a look that way.
But would you want to do that?
No,
At this point, as
but only if he has one of those great spring trainings and he can't.
Well, right now, it doesn't look like Dave Peterson's having a great spring training. Hey, look at that. Buck Showalter's wearing the real Mets hat, and everyone else is wearing the spring training hat. I guess he feels the same about these stupid spring hats as everyone else. Are these hats mesh backing? And they're probably charging $30 for those fucking hats with the mesh backing. You used to be able to buy those mesh backing trucker hats for $5. Those look cheap. And it's not the Mets. It's every team that has these stupid hats. But they're terrible. $45 for these? With the mesh backing? Are you fucking kidding me? Who would buy that?
Peterson at 26 years old. First round draft pick by the Mets in 2017 out of the University of Oregon. Behind on Carlson 2-0.
Now he strikes out Arenado and gives up a home run to this guy. David Peterson, he doesn't know how to fucking pitch. He just throws. David Peterson needs to go to fucking Syracuse. That's where he belongs. I hope David Peterson enjoys Syracuse, upstate New York, central New York. Maybe you could go have lunches at the Carrier Dome. David Peterson sucks. All right, let's see these next pack of cards. The Mets have to be vaccinated weekly. They have to get weekly booster shots, otherwise they can't play. Eric Adams is the dictator of New York. Okay, here's another Met that never made it. Mark Willoughby. Dave Bettendorf. These guys suck. Wes Chamberlain. Adam Casillas. Don't believe that guy ever made it. Kevin Belcher. I mean, you can just look at this guy. This guy does not look like a major leaguer. He didn't have the makings of a varsity athlete. Dave Miller. Now, okay, here's somebody who was pretty good. Had a decent career in the majors. Andy Bennis. So I'm getting like 1 or 2 hits in every pack. Tim Hunt. Look at this guy. This guy looks like the fucking bat boy. The Mets were drafting the worst players back then. Good God. Tim Hines. He literally looks like the fucking bat boy. Fabio Gomez and Bruce Schreiber. Another one that looks like a fucking bat boy.
Get that thing as fast, that ball as fast as you can, the shortest hop possible. He's a very good scooper. You're Tango Mets starting lineup. Starting Marte.
Travis Jankowski wearing number 16 makes my fucking stomach turn. You see, there it is. Everyone else has a spring hat. Buck Showalter has the real hat. Buck Showalter has no need for that fucking nonsense.
And flexor tendon surgery in 2020. After coming off that big year in 2019 when he went 18-4.
So bottom line is he's made 9 starts in the last 2 years, and they really need him right now because their ace Jack Flaherty is going to be set back with some shoulder issues, and the starting rotation is certainly a question mark for the Cardinals. Brandon Nimmo played only 92 games last year. Hand injury, hamstring injury, but when he played, did what Nimmo does, on base percentage over 400. And you would think that he would be the natural guy to lead off, but Marte gives you an element that Nimmo doesn't, and that's the ability to steal a base. So that's going to be at least a question in Buck's mind.
But let the leading stolen bases, Marte also presents a lot more power of that leadoff spot than Nimmo.
You know, talking to Brandon a few days ago, he said that he has made a conscious effort to increase his speed. And in fact, if you look at the metrics, he's about a foot per second faster last year than he was the year before. He's done a lot of work with sports science people to try to figure out how to increase his speed.
I thought you were saying Usain Bolt or something.
Well, there's that too. Nimmo strikes out for the first time. You haven't been around long enough to remember Matthew Shulstone trying to teach the Mets how to run.
That's right. The Cardinal defense brought to you by HSS, and catches may take about 6 months to get through. You got Arenado at third with 9 Gold Gloves, 5 platinum. Goldsmith over at first with 4. Tommy Edman won his first Gold Glove. Tyler O'Neill in left field, 2 Gold Gloves. Harrison Bader, a Gold Glove last year, his first. And Yadier Molina's not here. He has 9. This is quite a defensive ball club.
I have to revert that is over. Goldschmidt, there too. I was going to ask you before, Keith, when it's the middle of the winter and you're sitting out on your porch in your beautiful palatial residence down in Jupiter, are you saying to yourself from the ground up?
Baseball's the last thing on my mind. I do not live, eat, and sleep baseball when I play, but I always like to watch a good fielding first baseman, and we certainly have one out there in Paul Goldschmidt.
I think you float so naturally into that rhythm of from the ground up. I just felt as though you had been rehearsing it since Jeff McNeil hitting third in the order.
It's second nature to me.
There are so many Mets who want
McNeil now wearing number 1.
last year, whether it's
That doesn't look right.
But Jeff McNeil, to me, provides the biggest conundrum about whether he can bounce back to where he was a couple of years ago.
I just feel that Jeff, that second half of the year, was it 2 years ago here? The 17 home runs in the second half?
Yep.
I think that his swing, he altered his swing. He was too much of an uppercut and made him fall up and in. And I'll be very interested to see if he's made any adjustments. Just try to level off a little more because He is a solid line drive hitter. He can hit. And I like him in the 3-hole if he's a line drive hitter and a doubles hitter.
OPS in 2019 was 916. 2020 still a respectable 836. Last year, 679. Just a completely different player.
Boy, Jeff McNeil still looks like Jeff McFeeble. All right, we got another card pack. Let's see if we get anyone that we've heard of. We got, let's see, Scott Cooper. Hey, Red Sox fans, you remember this guy, Scott Cooper? The Red Sox had two corner infield prospects, Scott Cooper and this guy named Bagwell, and they were hiring on Scott Cooper. Jeff Bagwell's in the Hall of Fame. Scott Cooper can go visit the Hall of Fame. We got Ed Zambrano, Randy Berlin, another Andy Bennis card, Matt Current, Tommy Boyce. The sun's bothering him. Look at him. Look at that look. Do I have to stand here? Do I really have to stand here? Lem Plankent, Phil Plantier. This guy had a couple of good years. He was kind of like the Red Sox Kevin Moss. Steve Hosey and Steve McCarty. I remember this guy. I think he played for the A's briefly. Might be a pitching coach now. Right. Let's see what's in this pack. Oh, here's somebody. Robin Ventura. He later played for the Mets, of course. Grand Slam single. Julio Vargas. Dave Bettendorf, another guy I never heard of. Mickey Pena. Jamie Roseborough, another. I think this is Johnny Roseborough's son. Never made it to the majors, though. Jimmy Rosso. Skipper Wright. Charles Nagy, he had a good career. And here's another Met that never made it. Dan Segui, Pat Howe. I mean, look how bad some of these players are. Why should I read the chat? There's nothing going on in the chat.
I think they were intending for Schwarber to play the outfield until they then went and signed Nick Castellanos. So that puts Castellanos in the outfield and probably makes Schwarber a full-time DH. The Phillies, any way you slice it, once you get past Bryce Harper and JT Realmuto, they don't have anybody who's a plus defender on that team.
Well, they've always not been a good defensive team here.
Well, they'd be worse this year. That's it right off the bat. Base hit for Sosa.
Peterson to Syracuse.
Younger than Freddie and Gold Glover. Both guys are Gold Glove.
Do you guys have any insight as to how it happened that the Braves let Freddie go?
I think they made a cost-benefit analysis, Ron, don't you? But there's 4 years difference in ages of Olsen and Freeman.
Other kids are hitting on the center field.
I will say that it wasn't a recent season. Albert Pujols left the Cardinals when I said to myself, there's no way he's going to wear another uniform, and he did. I said the same thing about Freddie Freeman. I just didn't see that, and I was wrong.
Do you think that when you beat the World Series, it's easier somehow to say goodbye to a franchise player like that?
I don't think it's ever easy to say goodbye. You can tell by Mcallister and the emotion he showed in the press conference about it. But I just think the longer it went, the more animosity on both sides.
I mean, it was shocking all of last year that they never got it done. But you can certainly, I agree with Keith, I think you can make the case that for the long run, that Olsen might be a better find. He's a better fielder. He's a younger player. He's maybe not quite be the hitter that Freeman is, but he's certainly a pretty good replica.
He's come off his best year.
And he's also a Georgia kid, and Atlanta loves to get their own people. And also, you know, you assess a guy coming from Oakland with all that foul territory, you may get a few extra at-bats to pick up hits on balls that would be caught in Oakland when you play somewhere else.
It's not the best Freeman. One of the big reasons they won a championship is because of what he provided to that team, not only as a ball player, but he went to the post every day, so that made Albies go to the post every day. It made Acuna, when he was in there, go to the post every day. Swanson, I mean, he was so important to their ball club. That's going to take some getting used to. And also, it's not like it's easy. He's going to go in there and have to replace him. I always felt, Gary, that when you win a world championship, give that team a chance to repeat. Don't do anything to it. Give it another year.
But think about it this way. What did the Phillies do after the World Series? They kept bringing those guys back through the second round, and they waited too long. So the arguments have been made, of course, but I just think that the Braves were so great last year. They went down, bringing guys together. Rosario, Slayer, and John Peters, and Rosario back to this union. Yeah, the other two guys have got some moved on, but I mean, Rosario. Can you have a better postseason than he had? You know, 3-2 to head, man. He chops one toward Lindor. Gets him through the second round.
All right, let's open some more cards. All right. All right, Jose Trujillo. Tommy Boyce. This guy had a good career as a reliever. Rob Nen. Ended up going to the Marlins. Kevin Belcher. Mike House. He has another Joey Bell card. I notice you. You're not saying anything. We got another Robin Ventura. I remember this guy briefly being with the Indians. Mark Lewis. And Pedro Castellano. Yes, I've been to JJ's. I like Tony's better. Okay, we have another pack here. All right, we got Luis Mercedes. I do remember this guy being up in the majors at one point. Jeff Fry. Chris Zarzenik. Never heard of him. Jose Trujillo, another forgotten Met. James Harris. Actually from New York. Eric Alexander, Scott Cooper, Steve Forster, and Ken Lewis.
Thought we might have a line drive double right there from our vantage point, but we appreciate you giving us a couple of minutes.
We scored a couple runs here. You're going to stay here. We're going to stay on the air the rest of the time.
They'll hold on in here. Okay, so I got to get some questions in the back of my mind just in case. How's it been for you, though? Look, obviously, this isn't your first rodeo with the new organization, but how's it been here this first week, short camp, getting to know all the guys and get your feet wet?
Yeah, that's what it is. You know, not 29 other clubs that get 2 extra weeks. We're all under the same microscope, so to speak. Sorry, I'm a little distracted here, but he, you know, get after it every day. I haven't had time to think nostalgically or any of that stuff. We've got a lot of people depending on me and the staff in the front office to, you know, do something that's very important to our fans.
I know this isn't the first time you've dealt with a shortened spring. You did it in '95 as well.
Let's say again, we had another workshop in school, so the hope is that we're going to have one again.
What is the most important aspect of trying to get a group together, and not only from your perspective, getting to know the guys, but getting to cohesive?
You asked a question. It was
in this short period of time.
I think it's just like
I think the Avalanche are going to win the Stanley Cup.
too fast, too quick. The health factor and understanding where the finish line is. You know, it's
Tony's is better than JJ's. Tony's is located like just near on Lake Street near Park Ave. I do not love the space Coca-Cola. It tastes more like marshmallow to me, melted marshmallow.
You talked about how impressed you've been. Anybody in particular that stood out to you so far? You want to tell us what that's like?
Tony's is a truck, yes. So go down Lake Street, and he's usually parked just before Park Avenue.
How so?
just the calmness of he and the guys like
Robinson Canofor is going to be the worst player on the Mets this year. Guarantee it. They need to cut his fucking ass.
You said in the past that the hardest thing to do in sports is win when you're expected to win. This team is clearly expected to win. Why is that so difficult? And what do you have to watch?
Not sure about Sundays if Tony's out there, but definitely go get Tony's. I'm not a big fan of Ballpark brand.
I'll give you one more then, and I'll let you get back to it. You know, we talk, and you've been asked this question a bunch already about how much the game has changed since your first manager, how much the players have changed. But on the flip side, how much is it the same in some regards? What is the most, especially when connected with
Bar S. Bar S means bar shit.
has kind of spanned all these decades?
Relationships, and it's one thing to have good people and good players. I think our front office and ownership have really been on top of, okay, this guy's a good player. He's really somebody that you want around every day. Esky's a great example of that. I mean, there's one part of it is the skill level takes a player, and they're not all the same. You know how boring it can be. You know, last thing I want to do is surprise a personality. We're all different, but we're all
Hello.
the same in game. But
Hello?
you know, the more things change, the more they stay the same. And never can be as changed for the lack of respect for tradition, right?
Real quick, who had the better Seinfeld cameo, you or Keith?
That's right. He had more than me. I don't know about him. I'm still getting taxed on that. My wife said about $19. I was shit. So I go, that's not good. Which one's Keith? I noticed I didn't do a second appearance was when Mr. Steinbrenner found out they were making fun of him. He erased it later.
That's right. All right. On that note, we will let you get back to managing, but thanks so much. Keith, do you still get text on that?
I certainly do.
Steve, I can't believe you didn't ask him about the cotton uniforms. They wanted me to ask you about the cotton uniforms. you go. The horse's mouth. From one TV star back up to Keith. Funny. And Escobar goes down swinging for the second out. Third strikeout for Mcallister. Back up to the ivory tower. Well, you know, he came out of the ivory tower. That's right. It's one of the first things that Buck said in the spring, you know, does this TV thing. And he's good at it, too. He was extremely good at it. And, you know, having done that, he could have continued and been successful.
Because it was a crank call, that's why.
I asked him, how did you know you wanted to do
Get Felton's hot dogs if you can find them.
It's interesting he asked. He said, I went around and talked to Dusty Baker, talked to Tony La Russa, guys who, you know, have come back into the game at an advanced age. And he said, Dave said, you're going to love this. This is going to be great. That the game is turning right back in your direction. And he's right. And since we've had our revolution of people with no managerial experience and maybe some front office expertise going down into the dugout, and now the worm has turned back a little bit with the Brian Stickers and the Dusty Bakers, the Tony La Russas. The other thing that Buck said was that he asked Jim Leland when it was time to stop. And Jim said, when the losses don't hurt as much as the wins accelerate. He's going to be an absolute trivia around. You know that. Great sense of humor. A little talker. It's all right. Well, I don't hear that well. Oh, okay. Kind of tries to stay on the curveball, comes in the shallow center.
I think Caleb went to Dubai. You know what they say? I say hello, you say yes. I say hello, you say Dubai.
It's funny that Buck solicited some advice from Tony La Russa because in 1995, in his year with the Yankees, he went after La Russa and a brawl that the Mets had against the Oakland A's. And to tell you how long Buck Showalter had been at this managing thing, I was still playing when he first started managing.
Your active wins leaders. Russo not in the field. James McCann takes it outside and it's 1-1. McCann, another guy looking to implant some offense. He ended up splitting time late last season with Toto Mazzanito, but Buck said yesterday he expects McCann to be his just about everyday catcher, which I thought was interesting.
James McCann still sucks.
New York. I think he lost to McCann, lost his confidence. But one thing he didn't do all year long, never affected his defense. He throws well, calls a good game, solid defender.
He said it last spring, and he reiterated it this spring. He's got to hit the ball to right field. He got away from that last year, and it really messed up his season.
We were so impressed all spring training last year when we watched him do that over and over again.
Alonso at third, count at first with 2 out. And McCann presses back into the triple ball to right, and that'll bring it a run. That time conservative ball to right field. He dropped the first deck.
It's one thing he didn't do last year. James McCann's favorite move last year was to roll over to third. All right, let's see the next pack. It's Chris Donalds. Oh, God, did this guy suck? This guy sucked. He actually made it up to the Mets. I wish he didn't. He might be one of the worst fucking players I ever seen. Chris Donalds, you suck. We got Bruce Schreiber, James Harris, Julio Vargas, Pat Howe. A lot of Mets in this one. Chris Butterfield. All of them never amounted to a hill of fucking beans. Kelly Woods, Dave Miller, and Andy Bennis. Quite a few Andy Bennis cards in here. Andy Bennis was a high draft pick. But never, he was good, but never quite as good as people expected him to be. Okay, we got Tito Stewart, another Joey Bell, Brett Heffernan. Isn't that the guy from, wasn't that the name of the family on King of Queens? Mike Campus, Brooke Fordyce. Oh, here's another guy that was a total loser. I think the Mets wasted a first-round pick on him for the top number one. Jesus. Dan Welch, Ben McDonald was not good. E-I-E-I-O. Yes, Ben McDonald. He did come up with the Orioles. I think he might have been he was number one overall pick in '89. And just a total bust. Hey, here's one for the Yankees. Tino Martinez, when he played for Williamsport. And Benny Colvard and Steve Hosey. Get yourself something interesting?
Yes, PB&J.
Ah.
What about you? What kind of cards are those?
Well, I found some interesting cards.
Any collector's items?
It's minor league cards, but I found these are probably the best ones I found so far. Boy, Dave Peterson's still in this damn game?
How are the Mets doing?
Not good today. Dave Peterson sucks.
Well, I mean, they say today sets the season.
No, they won yesterday.
Yeah, I haven't heard of Star Cards.
They were briefly around. They actually did minor league cards.
Yeah.
They did minor league sets for a lot of teams. I think the Great Falls Dodgers card I have. The Great Falls Dodger card I have of Pedro Martinez is a star card. And the Dave Peterson looks like he's in mid-season fucking form.
Now, Frank, is everyone starting? These games are these games in Port St. Lucie? Or?
Yes.
So all the Mets are starting this game.
Yes. Well, typical spring training.
Yeah.
Well, Starling Marte's hurt. He's going to be this year's Jed Lowry.
But they're in Florida, so they're free to do whatever they want.
Yep.
Williamsport Bills. Who were they with?
Mariners.
Yep, yeah, Frederick used to be the Orioles.
Yep.
Remember we passed, or is that Fredericksburg?
No.
Frederick.
Pretty sure that's on that.
They're the Nats now.
Yeah.
There's a Canton, Akron. Did Canton used to have a minor league team?
Yeah. We got.
I wonder when they moved to Akron and became the Aeronauts or something like that. Or there's kind of like Tornado or something before they became the Rubber Ducks.
A lot of the cards in here are just like total players that don't even look like they should even. That never even came close to sniffing the majors.
Yeah. Gastonia, is that Rangers? Yeah. So what were these 89?
Yep. This is the series. It was a 3-series set, I believe, and it's a series 2.
Charles Nagy, any relationship?
No. Charles Nagy actually was a decent pitcher.
Kinston. Where is Kinston?
I'm not sure, but it was the Indians.
Yeah, these guys were drafted the year I was born.
Yeah, Charles Nagy had a good career. I think he's actually now a pitching coach, if he's still a pitching coach. He was a pitching coach about a year or two ago with the Diamondbacks. But he had a good long career. He played for the Indians when they actually started getting good in the late 90s. And I think he was the winning pitcher in Game 6 of the World Series that year.
Oh, yeah?
Forced to Game 7, or he might have started Game 7 and they took him out and the Marlins rallied. I know he pitched like some big games in that for the Indians against the Marlins in the 97 World Series.
Here are the Lynchburg Red Sox. Is there like a Lynchburg, Massachusetts?
I doubt it.
Is that Tennessee?
Or Virginia.
Oh, is there Lynchburg, Virginia?
I think they're pretty close to each other.
What, Virginia and Massachusetts?
No, Virginia and Tennessee Lynchburgs.
Oh, gotcha. New Britain. Also the New Britain Red Sox. Where's New Britain, Frank?
That is okay. No, Lynchburg's in the middle of Virginia.
Okay, so there's 2 Lynchburgs.
Yep.
No, that makes sense. Well, the Red Sox are. They call them the Blue Sox. Where are the Red?
The Woo Sox didn't exist.
No, I'm saying now. They call them the Blue Sox.
Wooster.
No. No, we passed through there and we said if we ever had a minor league baseball team in Worcester, they would be the Worcester Roosters.
Yes.
But I think Worcester?
Well, that's how it looks like it's pronounced, but that's how it looks. That's how it's spelled, but it's pronounced Worcester.
I don't think so.
Yes, it is.
I don't think so.
Yes, it is.
That's Worcester.
No, it's Worcester.
If that's Worcester, then how come Westchester is Westchester?
I don't know. It's one of the weirdest things ever.
All right, now this minor league card just says San Diego Padres.
He was like a high draft pick.
So you just went straight to the show?
He didn't spend much time in the minors.
Says here, 89 San Diego, 9 games, 6-3, and 89.
Yeah, he didn't spend much time in it. He was a very high draft pick.
It doesn't even. It doesn't even tell you. All these other cards have like backgrounds and everything. This one doesn't even tell you.
Yeah, in fact, he was the number 1 overall pick in 1988's draft.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. What kind of career did he have?
He had a couple good years, but not as good as people expected.
I mean, they don't even tell you. They don't. It would be nice if they just said first overall pick. They don't tell you anything on this card.
That's probably why the cards didn't last. Look how ridiculously bad the hats are with the mesh background.
With the background?
Mesh.
Oh, with the mesh. Is that the main difference in their spring training cap?
Yeah, this year.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not huge on the mesh caps. Probably because I'm bald. I think maybe.
Yeah, there was one player that was bald,
Yeah.
has a sunburn on his head.
Yeah.
Posted on Twitter.
Yeah. If I had a nice head of hair, I'd probably be okay with the mesh. Wes Chamberlain, Harrisburg. Remember him?
Yes.
Oh, they're the Harrisburg Senators.
Here's the kicker. Here's how much those hats cost.
Oh, I'm sure they're probably $40-$50.
That's fucking highway robbery.
How much is it?
$45.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
fucking
that's
highway.
the spring training cap, Frank. You're not gonna be able to buy that once it's gone.
It's highway fucking robbery.
Oh, if you want it. I know a guy. I know a guy who knows a guy. Do you want that?
No. I want a regular hat. I want to see if the Mets put a 60th anniversary logo on the hat this year.
Yeah. You know, you should consider contacting New Era and see if they'll put some kind of like rubber part on like their brim. That way you don't have to buy 4 every season.
All right, let's see this pack of cards. New pack of cards. We got Randy Berlin, Rob Nen, Jeff Fry, Dave Bittendorf. This guy never made the majors.
See, these kind of guys, I don't know. I randomly see this. When I see this picture, that guy, I immediately think like Dust Bowl, like 1940s, like old school. Does he not look like he looks like he's from the past? Does that make sense?
To me, he looks like they just grabbed a bat boy. Mark Willsby.
Pittsfield?
Yep.
Where did they go from Pittsfield?
Pittsfield, I think, is now basically the Brooklyn Cyclones.
Where is Pittsfield?
Western Massachusetts. All right, let's see. We got Scott Summers. We've seen this card before. Frank Bullock. Randy Berlin. Chris Butler. This guy looks like he just passed gas. Boy, the Mets had some really awful players back then. Julio Vargas. Tommy Boyce, Keith Helton, Adam Casillas, Steve Hosey. I mean, these are some like bottom barrel cards.
I like so Mark Willoughby, pitcher for the Pittsfield Mets. He 1985 graduate of Independence High School in Louisiana. He attends LSU in the offseason.
Huh.
Was that a common thing?
Yes.
To go to college in the offseason
Yes.
while you're in the minors?
Yes.
But
especially if you're a fringe player.
But he wouldn't have played on the Louisiana State.
No.
So you have a minor league baseball player. You have a guy like in the system who's at your university and he's not playing baseball.
I know somebody who played minor league baseball and went to Stanford and played quarterback. Played in the minor leagues for the Yankees, and then played quarterback.
At Stanford?
Yes. And then when he got drafted, he said that he refused to go to Baltimore.
Huh.
And said that he'd play minor league baseball instead. Brett Merriman.
I wonder who that could be. Did he enjoy tropical climates?
No, he just did not want to play for the Colts.
No. Who are we talking about?
John Elway.
Oh, John Elway. Okay.
Mike Misaruka. This guy had a decent career. Mike Morandini. This guy played for the Phillies for about 10 years. Dave Bettendorf. Dave Miller. Okay, no, this isn't. I don't think this is Fredericksburg. This is Frederick Keys. This is.
That was what we're talking about. Frederick Keys are now the Frederick Nats.
Yes.
Yeah. But they were with the Orioles organization, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Here's one for you. 1990, the Orioles. I'm not the Orioles. The Red Sox had two prospects, corner infield prospects. One, they were like top 5 prospects. One, they traded for a pitcher named Larry Anderson, and they decided to keep this guy, Scott Cooper. The other one was Jeff Bagwell.
Jeff Bagwell.
Yes.
I know him. Howard, right?
Yeah, Hall of Famer.
That stinks. That's where he gets all the power from. Now, I haven't seen. I know they still have minor league cards. I mean, obviously you can get them like in the store. We go to minor league games; they have like little souvenir store you can get there. But I haven't seen any. I don't think I've seen any out and about like you can buy this.
Those were very rare to find.
Yeah. So I still regret not buying it. Right after the Dodgers beat the Rays in the World Series,
Ed Zambrano.
there's a Clayton Kershaw son, Jacksonville Sun's autographed card.
Mets did not draft Reggie Jackson. They passed on him and drafted Steve Chilcott. Doug Cronk. Sounds like a Bud flavor. Matt Current. Oh, look at this guy. You think he's gonna? You think he had a good major league career? Nope. I don't think he. I don't think. I don't think so.
I've never heard of him. I've heard of Pete Rose, the father.
I heckled him once.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
He was playing for. He was
playing somebody against Mount Union or whatever.
He was playing playing against the Newark Bears. I think he was playing for the Bridgeport Bluefish. And I basically was like, "Hey Pete, what are you still doing playing in the majors? Yeah, you're never gonna make it. I mean, what happened? Did Dad bet your college fund?"
Frank, you're lucky you haven't got your ass kicked before from one of these Major League Baseball players. These are athletes, Frank.
Houston's currently beating Illinois. All right, let's see. We got Jimmy Rosso, Felix Antigua. Seriously? You know, when you see a player like this, you just know he's not going to make the majors. Brooke Fordyce, he sucked. Like I said, just the hat is too small for his head. He doesn't have a properly sized properly sized hat. I mean, they basically says just grab any hat. You're not going to make the majors anyway. Smile for your one baseball card. He probably has like a dozen of these. He says, "See, look, I did play professional baseball. Here, I'm Tom Hines. Tim Hines." Sean Hare. I think I saw this guy briefly in the majors. Tim Nedinen. I think this guy briefly made it. Luis Mercedes. Of course, Sandy Alomar had a decent career.
Have you found any All-Stars?
Yeah, actually, I have. All these cards are like the best ones.
Oh, yeah.
Sandy Alomar. He was a rookie of the year. Had a All-Star Game MVP one year. Tino Martinez. This was the 1989 overall draft pick, number 1. Yep. Of course, look at the back of the card. Nothing on it.
Yeah.
This is Albert Bell.
No, this is Joey Bell.
No, it's Albert Bell.
No, that's Joey Bell.
You know the story, right?
Do they call him Joey because nobody pronounced Albert?
I don't know what the story was, but he came up.
Do we have a Carlos Stanton?
Yeah, basically like John Paul Stanton. When he first came up, he was Joey Bell. He says, "No, I'd rather go by the name Albert Bell," and he didn't like the name Joey. So one time he tried to run over a couple of kids around Halloween for calling him Joey. He like threw a ball in the stands at someone who called him Joey. And he's probably got Hall of Fame numbers, but he was such a bad guy.
They didn't put him in?
No, he didn't know. He never really got the votes.
Sounds like somebody else we know.
Robin Ventura. And this guy hit like 50 homers in 1995.
Yeah.
No, so this guy was legit. He was
just a bad guy.
He was he had anger issues. This guy played for the Mets in the late 90s. Was a very good player. Robin Ventura. He had a 72-game hitting streak or something like that in college baseball. Rob Mann, he was on the 97 Marlins. Yeah, but he has a few good cards here and there.
Yeah.
All right. Here it is, another Joey Bell. Kerry Taylor, Nolan Lane, Chris Moda, Julian Yan, This guy lost his wallet. He's the Mets TV announcer, and he also does Seton Hall radio.
He lost his wallet on the plane.
Yep, on the way back from watching Seton Hall.
I know how that is. Maybe in 3 months, somebody will send it to him in the mail.
Oh, yeah. Sosa's not looking for the second half, but while Seton Hall might have flailed there,
Manny Alexander. This guy had a decent career.
it's a great story being written in Jersey City because the St. Peter's Peacocks are pulling off the greatest Cinderella story in NCAA tournament history. You have to have been to the St. Peter's campus, seen the Anselmo gym, to have an idea of
Yeah, someone posted a picture of where St. Peter's plays today on Twitter.
it is that St.
Yeah.
Peter's going to be in the Sweet 16.
Just thinking of the David Goliath.
Where the Mets play again?
Where St. Peter's.
Oh, St. Peter's. Yeah. Yeah.
This is St. Peter's.
That's their gym. Yeah.
Their home arena. This is where they play their home games.
Yeah.
That looks like a high school gym.
My high school. We didn't have wooden benches, but my high school gym was probably that size.
Those bleachers get folded up and are only used when the game is going on.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's so much. Yeah. Jack posted that.
He was a great friend and just he was a fabulous player and he's turning into a superstar coach.
The hot rumor.
They asked him a question last night. Were you worried about Murray State doing blah blah blah? He said, "Kids are from New Jersey, New York City. I'm not afraid of anything."
The hot rumor is St. Peter's coach is going to go coach Seton Hall.
Yeah.
That's the.
They were just throwing darts. Andrew Kisner, flat out of the center field his first time up. And McGill tried to get him with a slider, but
Okay. So yeah. So this guy said they're the Canton Akron Indians. Then they were the Akron Arrows. That's what it was. And then they became the Riverducks after the Arrows. The guy that owns the Arrows also owns the Jumbo Shrimp in Jacksonville. Babin, I think his name is. Frank. That's the way to do it. You know, if you want to be a sports owner, minor league baseball. I'm gonna own a minor league baseball one day. One day I'll own one.
No, I don't think Ohio State's going to win. Right now, what's going on in the college basketball? Houston's pulling away, so bye-bye Illinois.
Frank, over under 100 wins for the Mets this season.
Under.
Come on, all right?
I think the Dodgers are the only team that's going to win 100.
I mean, you got Alonso, you got Degrom, you got Baez.
The big number is 90.
90.
90. Over 90 is a success.
Who's the third baseman?
Escobar. Eduardo Escobar is looking like he'll be the third baseman this year. Let's see. Haven't really gotten any exciting players recently. A lot of the Mets in here. There's Chris Butler. Callahan, Hayek, Vincent DeGricio. This card describes Chris Donald's career. What the fuck? Look at me. I'm playing in the majors. Oh no, it's an error. Oh, what am I doing up to the plate? I suck. This guy was is next to Ty Kelly is one of the worst players I've ever seen in a Mets uniform.
Yeah, Mets into the end, right?
Now, David Peterson gave up a 600-foot homer in the first inning. That's the difference in this game so far. A lot of these cards I've seen before. Keith Hamilton, Keith Helton, Willie Moda, Carlos Moda. One of these guys are brothers. Oh, jeez.
No stats available for team. Not even what team? Elizabethton. Yes, when you get a big box like this, who knows how many cards are actually in this set?
Yeah,
You're gonna get a lot of duplicates.
a lot of these duplicates. A lot of players are just forgotten about, and Tito Stewart, Skipper Wright. Hamilton used to have a team.
Hamilton, Ontario.
Yep. Ron Morton. The Waterloo Diamonds. Obviously, the minor league teams are now better now. Better uniforms. I mean, these minor league has definitely stepped up their game in names and stuff.
You can open up all those.
I'll see.
Featuring the stars of tomorrow.
Some of them were good. Alexa, what's my notification?
One notification from Amazon Shopping. Your Canon MS490 series is running low on ink cartridge. The manufacturer recommends Canon ink cartridge. Here are the product details.
Alexa, stop.
Okay.
Manny Alexander. This guy looks like the bat is too heavy for him. Troy Neal. Oh. I found a card you might like.
Oh, yeah?
If I get it dupe, you might want it.
Well, there you go. New York. Outfielder. It's first. Oh, they didn't print it. They printed it. I guess that's fine.
Now, here's somebody who's kind of famous.
Yeah, flip it.
Deion Sanders.
I've heard of him.
Take a look at the back. He was playing minor league baseball in '88. What was he doing in the fall of '88?
Is he playing? No.
Yes.
No, he couldn't have been an FSU.
Yes.
Oh, he's playing minor league baseball?
Yes.
When did they?
There is no rule. You can play minor league baseball and then go play college football.
Does it just have to not be in the same sport?
Right.
Gotcha. So you can be making bank
Yes.
in one sport.
Kyler Murray was playing minor league baseball.
I didn't know they were doing it at the time. I thought it was a matter of they decided to play baseball, then decided to come back to college to play football.
So what?
I didn't know they were doing it at the same time.
Deion Sanders. Look at this. He hit 150 in Columbus. Well, the Yankees started moving him rapidly.
Yeah.
They moved him from Fort Lauderdale, which was their single A affiliate, to Columbus, their triple A affiliate.
I mean,
And Sarasota was also like a single A for the Yankees back then.
He was Deion Sanders. He played Louisville. He was on the Louisville Riverbats.
Yeah, that was when they were the Reds.
And he actually hit the first home run in that stadium, in the Louisville Stadium.
I don't know if he actually played for Louisville or that was a minor league. a rehab assignment at that point.
It may have been a rehab. Yeah, they used to be the River Bats, not just the Bats. It's a nice stadium.
All right, we got Mike Morandini. We've seen that one before. Fabio Gomez. He really likes that bat. Look at the way he's hugging it. Oh, Jesus. Robinson Cano has to go. Anthony Dela Cruz, just eat that fucking contract. Get someone in there that can actually fucking play.
He was suspended 160 games last season.
Yeah.
Man, that's almost the whole season.
It is the whole season. It was his second steroids. Second steroid punishment.
Are they still testing for that?
I don't know right now. I don't know if they've renewed the testing.
I think that's probably the worst part about it. Like, if you're gonna cheat, like, you sure you don't get caught. You know, like.
And we got caught a second time.
Yeah,
And see what's going on at the end of this game.
At that point, you're just being lazy, right? You know. Like,
Yep. Oh, this game's over.
Why would you say that?
Because it's over.
I couldn't see it though.
I knew Houston was pulling away.
How's your parlay doing?
I have Houston. Illinois didn't even show up. Got a lot of Joey Bells in here.
Excuse me?
A lot of Joey Bells.
Excuse me.
Albert Bell.
Thank you. The door just slams open. And there's Albert Bell ready to kick your ass.
Yeah, you know, he really does have Hall of Fame type careers.
Yeah. So, is he really just non-troopers now because of he's a bad guy?
His career ended short because of injury. But let me look up his stats.
So he's not like he would be in if he wasn't a bad guy. That's a matter of
he was a borderline.
He's on the cusp, and so it doesn't matter.
He didn't win the MVP one year because of how being a bad guy.
Really?
Yep, here it is.
He was an old school Aaron Rodgers.
Yep, he used a corked bat, and the umpires took his bat to X-ray it for a corked bat, and his teammates crawled through the
air vent or whatever.
The air vent to get the bat.
Yeah, what do the umps do about that? Like, do they just? I mean, they just have to assume it was cork.
Yep.
Did they suspend them just for? I mean, like, I feel like oh, hey, somebody stole the bat. We're going to treat it as if we found that it was cork. Right? Like, it's not. Like, I don't think it's that simple. Like, it's not like a piece of paper or the contract. You eat the piece of paper and the contract goes away. Yeah, we assume it was cork. They still do that, you think? You think there's any cork bats?
Oh, yeah.
You think so?
Yeah. They do everything.
Just whatever you can get away with? So
here it is. Bill Madden, sorry, there are no sympathy for Albert Bell. This is when he had to retire because of a hip injury. Sorry, there's no sympathy for Albert Bell. He was a jerk before he got hurt, and now he's a sorry jerk. He has no credit to the game. Bell's boorish behavior should be remembered by every Hall of Fame voter when it comes time to vote for him.
Bad guy. So Frank, where do you draw the line between, like, cork bats, pine tar?
Pine tar is legal.
And banging on trash cans.
The banging on trash cans was bad because he used video.
So technology.
Yeah,
Technology is where you draw the line.
technology, yes.
Okay.
Come on, Miguel.
If you're what if they were using binoculars? And because they would never realize it's that quick.
They did.
No. I'm saying if you were using something other than computers or whatever, if you were using something that's not digital or any kind of technology.
Then you got to stop it. You could actually see him doing it, and you can stop it.
No, I'm saying they wouldn't have been able to do it without. They wouldn't have been able to send the signal that quickly to let the batter know what it was.
That you're wrong about.
Really? So you're saying they could have?
They did.
Without using any form of technology.
They did.
Without using any form of technology, Frank. You're telling me without using any form of technology.
Without using any form of technology other than lights and binoculars. You ever see a picture of the Polo Grounds?
Yes. Yeah, I played the home run derby there against you.
Yeah. Well, in the Polo Grounds, the team clubhouses were in center field.
Mm-hmm.
So you had to walk all the way out there at the end of the game or if you left the game.
Yep.
In 1951, with Leo DeRocher set up a clubhouse attendant in the clubhouse with a spyglass. Oh, God.
You might as well call this here, Frank.
With a spyglass / binoculars telescope
Mm-hmm.
and a light. And the light would turn on and turn off based on which pitcher was coming. He did that over the second half.
Over the second half of what?
The season.
Okay.
And the Giants.
And nobody caught him.
And the Giants. What were whispers? And the Giants came back from 13 games down and tied the Dodgers. And Bobby Thompson hit a home run in the best of 3 playoffs, walk-off home run. And years later, the Giants admitted that they came up with a spying system in the second half.
So the cheating team won.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Beat the Dodgers, Brooklyn Dodgers.
The Giants did.
Yep.
San Francisco Giants.
Nope.
The New York Giants.
Yep.
There you go, friend. Okay, so what kind of light was it?
The clubhouse light.
Like a lantern?
Yeah, the clubhouse light.
I'm saying how fast could he light the wick?
No, you just turned on the light switch.
Now, Frank, you're telling me you don't consider lights to be technology?
But he was doing it live. He wasn't using video.
Well,
it is sketchy. It is sketchy what the Giants did.
I'm saying without.
And basically, people knew about it and basically told the Giants to knock it off. And it was never really discussed after that.
Hold on, so he used it for a whole half season.
Yes. And the next season, basically made the National League told him knock it off.
Did it?
I think so.
I mean, if you're the other team, how do you not kick their ass? Like if you that's the whole thing is like if you.
Oh, especially with the rivalry the Brooklyn Dodgers and New York Giants had.
The whole thing is, hey, listen, you can try and cheat, but if you get caught, like that's the punishment for getting caught cheating is like you're brandished a cheater.
Yep. Well,
and you get your ass kicked.
In baseball, you used to get your ass kicked. And Giant fans used to call the Polo Grounds the polio grounds.
What? That's weird. No, but so
yeah, here it is. Did someone just put on here? Bell screwed kids out of the Halloween candy. Yeah, it's like someone threw an egg at his car, and he went like basically like almost ran over like 11, 12-year-olds.
Yeah, they throw some seltzers at him.
He refuses to go to any Cleveland Indian functions or they honor the 20th anniversary of the 1995 team, and he refused to go. And here it is. He had like a stretch where he's one of the best players in baseball. He had 50 homers, 126 RBIs in 1995. That was a shortened season. Led the league in both, and didn't win the MVP, which is ridiculous. Led the American League in RBIs 3 times in 4 years. Hit 48 homers in 98, 45 homers in 97, 52 in 95. Oh no, it's doubles. Excuse me, sorry about that. Yeah, I mean this guy was a monster.
Yeah.
And then his career went. Then he got a hip injury, and nobody felt sorry for him because he was a jerk.
Yeah. I'm gonna say it.
What?
I'm gonna say it. I'm not sorry that you broke your hip.
And other players who have had careers like this have been in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
But because of the short nature of his career, and just that nobody liked him, he'll never get in. He won't even get into the Veterans Committee. Baker. Got a lot of Sandy Alomar cards in here. Here it is. Slide just asked, "Hey Tank, any chance you'll be in the D.C., Maryland area soon? Tons of places around here that need to be road dogged."
Yeah, I think there's a chance.
I think there is a chance. Trey McCoy. I wonder if this guy's the real McCoy.
When you switch to Spectrum Mobile, you get unlimited for $29.99 a month per line for 2 or more lines. That means unlimited nationwide 5G.
Princeton Pirates. What a team.
But do people really want that? Oh, yeah. Should I jump on Facebook? No, but I have a lovely phone with. Fair enough. 20 million who have already switched. Get unlimited data for only $29.99. Call, click, or visit the Spectrum store today. From Petersburg, Florida, here is New York's new National League Baseball team, the New York Mets. Hello, everybody. I'm Lindsey Nelson at Miller Huggins Field in St. Petersburg, Florida, where the New York Mets are in the midst of
Got another one.
first spring training season. We have here young ball.
Doug's. Got another one.
You know very well.
You can add that to your wall of Dion collections.
Here they must all be blended into one competitive unit to represent the biggest city in the oldest league in the nation. The New York Mets representing the National League in New York.
Very smooth Lindsey Nelson with a rather choppy video presentation at the first Mets spring training.
It's not video, it's Kinetoscope.
Nick Wickren is on the pitch for the Cardinals, and they've got an entirely new defense around him.
See his numbers from last season. When he
It's ridiculous. I find it stunning, these hats that they're wearing in this year. These are the hats you used to buy for $5. And they're charging $45 for those shitty hats. I remember when Marge Schott owned the Reds. The Reds would wear those hats. And they did it because Marge Schott was cheap. Now it's standardized and everyone wears them. It still looks cheap. And they're charging you $45 for it. That is absolutely ridiculous.
I don't know about Lindsey. Lindsey was a little bit older, but I think, was in his 30s. And Ralph was probably in his late 30s, right? Because he retired at 56. He was young. So when they were 35, when they were no longer a trio, they were younger than we are. Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure. Well, Lindsay went to San Francisco. And, of course, Ralph and Bob stayed for many more years. Worked through 2003. Yeah, Lindsey Nelson for me was all about Notre Dame football on Sunday morning. 8 o'clock in the morning in San Francisco. He also did the Cotton Bowl every year, didn't he? Yeah. Well, the whole conceit of putting together that broadcast group, because, you know, when they hired us, we all had Met connections. Yeah, so called Caddis out. Well, there were no Met connections in 1962. Whether we were together the broadcast team,
Albert Bell ran over Fernando Vigna. Nope, second baseman. No, Pete Rose Jr.
Wonder what he's up to.
Okay, we have the definitive numbers now. In 1962, Lindsay was 43. Ralph was 40. And Rick was 38. I'd like to know how many guys.
So, Frank, you're saying you're not going to buy one of these sets?
They don't look very good. And they're $45. That's a ridiculous price to pay.
Yeah, but think about how many times you would wear it. At least 3 or 4 times, right?
I mean, that hat shouldn't be more than $20.
Oh, I mean, Frank, come on. It's a
a
Major League Baseball hat. I mean, that's.
Fastball from Whitgrid. That's him down to the count 1-2.
I mean, as soon as you put the Major League Baseball logo on it, it becomes automatically like a $25 hat.
This is the famous play of Albert Bell and Fernando Vigna.
There it is, Vigna. Oh, this is just like the play in the 3rd inning. And it was Albert
And then
Bell.
I remember, we watched this not too
Back
long
in the
ago.
3rd inning this time,
And
he lays it on Vigna even more so.
I was talking shit about the other team, the Brewers, because they didn't do a damn thing about it. I don't see how. I mean, especially if the Indians are still in the dugout. I don't see how you can get at least 3 or 4 guys over to him right away.
Watch Albert Bell.
Just
Does he
kick the
pull
shit
his
out of
arms out? Does he give him a forearm shiver? Yeah, he does. You see his elbow go out and into Fernando Vigna's
Did he
chin.
get suspended for that?
I don't think he did.
If he didn't do that, that's an okay play. That is not a dirty play, but since he threw that forearm out,
It stops and then
second
pushes.
base umpire Fielding Colbreth should have called Murray out at first base.
Should have been called. Yeah, that's the thing that should have been called. It should have been called. They should have had a double play.
Jankowski got to play for the Phillies last year. That was good for him.
Still not seeing it. Seeing if there's anyone else in here that's worthwhile talking about. Doug Cronk.
Anyway, he grew up a Phillies fan, big Chase Utley fan. So he got to play for the Phils last year. That's a double play ball. Tejeda takes it to the
Oh, he dropped it.
Can't be handled either. Another mistake by Tejeda. No error there because you can't assume the double play, but it sure looked like it.
He did everything right but the throw. Didn't execute the throw. And that was he threw a ball or something. That would have scared me. He just spiked it too, boy. On that caught, he passed too.
It's not a long trip for the Cardinals.
The varsity was very, very disappointing. It was an average dog at best.
That's called rush. It's not
Which one was varsity?
Atlanta.
Varsity. Yeah. Yeah, varsity is a good experience.
I mean, they need a better branded dog. That's what the varsity needs.
And I've been to varsity many times. What you got is a standard. I don't think anyone's going to varsity because of how amazing their food is.
How far is Dundalk, Maryland from Washington? What is this place? Okay, here it is. The Brewers did respond.
What, they hit the next pitcher or something?
Yeah. Let me see. And Bell got to spend 10 games for that thing on Vinya.
Whenever I watch like an old school highlight like that, I just assume that people were violent back then and that they would stick up for their teammate and like
they did, but that started to go away in the 90s.
Bell's reasoning, he was in the base path. Absolute, looking more like a linebacker.
Okay, no, they suspended him 5 games.
He said his nose was swollen, but encouraged him to go after a batter. First batter in the bottom of the 9th is Mike Matheny. Tavares throws behind him. Matheny rushes before the bottom of the 9th.
So the Indians throw the ball?
Matheny rushes the mound.
I guess.
And the brawl ensues. Matheny lands a
The Brewers were a terrible team back then.
Comes into the screen from the bottom left. Number 50, there he is. And Bell forearms and tosses him aside. In the melee,
the Brewers look like pussies here. Look at this. Even the umpire. The umpire's the one that.
Placing the safety of an umpire at risk is inexcusable.
The only thing we take exception to is that when I look at it on the films and when I saw Fernando's face, it looked
there was a problem with the Brewers back then. Bud Selig still owned the Brewers and was essentially the commissioner of baseball. This is after the strike. The Brewers were terrible, and the players of the Brewers basically didn't give a fuck because they hated their owner so much because he was commissioner, and he was like the one that was against him with the strike. So a lot of problems with the Brewers.
If Manfred owned the baseball team.
Yes.
For some reason, I don't know why you would play behind Jankowski on a 2-2 pitch. But he had put a move behind him.
But Bell was good. He just was a jerk, and he got hurt, and no one felt sorry for him.
So what's the rule here? They said it's a balk if the first baseman's not on the bag.
He's not guarding first base. He's not batting good, holding the runner on. So you can't have the first baseman in fielding position charge up and sneak behind the runner on a pickoff.
Gotcha. I don't know, but football players, some football players do it as well, but baseball players, I don't know how they wear those chains. They wear multiple. Some guys wear multiple chains, and I mean, I guess you just get used to it, and you're not active.
You know who I could equate Albert Bell to as a baseball player? Vontaze Burfict.
Oh yeah.
Dirty player that everyone hated.
I mean, it just shows you if you're good enough, people don't care if you're an asshole.
He was good enough, but he was so good. He was good enough, and he was such an asshole that people actually cared he was an asshole.
Yeah.
He was just a bad guy, just a bad guy. And signed a couple of big contracts. He signed a bid. He left the Indians, went to the White Sox for a big contract, and he was booed mercifully. And then the White Sox were starting to rebuild, and so they sent him to the Orioles, and then he had his hip problems.
You still got a few?
I mean, I don't open that many more packs.
You only got like 7 or 8 more.
So I think I've seen every card at least once.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder how many Watch for Series 3, including at least 100 new cards. Series 3 will be available from your favorite store dealer soon.
This really looks like a real fly-by-night card.
Yeah.
But you know, I paid $12.50 for that box.
Yeah. I mean, listen. If you account for inflation, I think you got a pretty good deal.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, how much do you think the box went for in 1989?
These cards probably went 50 cents a pack.
Yeah.
And they'd probably get $20. It probably cost more back then for the box.
Well, I don't know if I told you the new UFC cards are coming out with from Panini. They're coming out, I think next week or pretty soon. And Patty is one of the base cards. So Patty will have Patty Benny's gonna have his own UFC card.
Well, he should.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to buy a box of those and open them up with Robbie. So.
Goose Gazzo. I think he was on the Mets briefly. This guy sucked. Damn it. David Peterson, he needs to go to Syracuse. He's on the roster. That's not good. That's not a good sign. Peninsula. Where is Peninsula?
Like the landform? Or the Peninsula Pilots. Should that be? No, it's probably not in the Panhandle. Might be in Texas. Hold it up.
So where is this? Dundinic, Maryland. Fountain.
No, they're located in Hampton, Virginia.
Maybe it's on that that weird place we went.
Yeah.
The Delmarva Peninsula. I don't know where Glen Burnie is either. Is that near BC?
Hold on. This Peninsula Pilots says they were founded in 2000. Would have been minor league team. What year is this? 89?
89.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess they folded in 92. I guess they folded in 92 and then they were bought back in 2000.
Paul Johnson, Pittsfield Mets. Never heard of this guy, but apparently big fan of Batman. Batpin. Boy, the Mets had a lot of junk in their minor leagues back then.
All right, so the Peninsula Pilots, they're in Hampton, Virginia. This is the minor league team that was in the Carolina League, and they says they're major league affiliate. They might not have been affiliated. No, they had to have been. It says they were affiliated with the White Sox from the 86 to 87, and then Mariners 90 to 92. But I don't know where they were 88 or 89.
So adrenaline would take over. So Ray, I don't know if you got a chance to talk to a lot of these guys, but you've gone through shortened spring training before. When you're uncertain about when it's going to start, how do you wrap yourself up properly so you're ready to get to
In 88, there was a Virginia junior.
Match yourself up. You really have to be.
But now there's a summer collegiate team that has taken that name. They repurposed that name for their team. So there is still a Peninsula Pilots team, but it's a collegiate league.
Another Dion.
Spring training is that you end up getting the catcher you want to use. It could be anyone from a kid from college to a friend, and you get to stand in the box as a right-handed hitter or a left-handed hitter, and you start to work through some of those hitters that you're going to face during the course of the year, whether it's Soto, whether it's Acuna, whether it's Albies, and you start to just think about pitch sequences, combining your pitches, because a lot of times, if you have a long spring training, you just come in and just work on your fastball first, and then incorporate more pitches. But on this short
James Harris. Why does this guy seem familiar?
It's funny you say that.
But he's familiar elsewhere.
I guess it was Wednesday when they had a.
I'm not talking about that James Harris.
Scherzer pitch, needed a bunch of the other guys. And I remember the days when pitchers would come to camps, start working on their fastball, and then gradually add in their other pitches. The backdoor sliders, the changeups, I mean, just from the very.
How long are they going to be in spring training?
It's basically 3 weeks. It's a very truncated spring training.
Yeah. That sucks for people in most cities.
It does. Next year, definitely gonna hit spring training.
Yeah. I'm thinking about like the high school kid that wants a summer job, spring job.
Okay, this James Harris never made anything. Drafted from New York.
They got the people in the ticket office, people in the concession people, the janitors.
Oh, nobody gives a fuck about them. You know how it goes.
People did care about them. The ground crew.
Well, considering that minor leagues are coming for the St. Lucie Mets, they're not hurting. But the spring training is going to hurt them. But the teams that have like minor league teams come in after them, they'll have their regular work. Look at this. Might be one of the worst caps I've ever seen for a team.
Yeah, the keys.
You couldn't come up with something better than that?
You shouldn't have Arson Willie Anderson.
77. To stay in St. Louis full time, and it was the coldest winter in like 40 years. It was just, just bitter cold.
The guy who owns the Fort Myers Mighty Muscles owns the Jacksonville Icemen. The minor league hockey team in Jacksonville.
I think I'll leave these last packs unopened. I think I've seen every one I could see.
Yeah.
But Deion Sanders, it's interesting that every card is got the same justification like this, but for some reason they decided to do Deion Sanders like this. Very interesting choice.
They knew. They knew he was going to be a star.
It's the only Hall of Famer I saw.
Oh, yeah?
Just in the wrong sport.
Yeah.
And Albert Bell, like I said, he could have had, and there's some people that had good careers. Robin Ventura had a good career. Andy Bennis and Ben McDonald didn't quite live up to expectations. There are the first two. I don't know if there's been a third yet, but the first two number one overall draft picks to make the Baseball Hall of Fame were Ken Griffey, chosen number one overall in '87, and Chipper Jones, chosen number one overall in 1990. In between, it was Ben McDonald, who basically never spent much time in the minors. Andy Bennis, who didn't spend much time in the minors. And they're both in here and both kind of fizzled. Especially Ben McDonald. He had arm problems. Andy Bennis, he became a serviceable journeyman late in his career. Let me see.
I mean, that's got to be a good ending to a career. But obviously, you want like the Hall of Fame send off
Yeah.
junior head. But I mean, if you're good enough to be in a late rotation and you just play for like 15 different teams for like for the last like 5 or 6 seasons.
60s to the 2000s.
Yeah.
So McDonald basically was gone by like 98.
Yeah. I don't think that's too bad of an end of a career. Play just a bunch of play for a bunch of different teams, see different cities, travel, still play the kids game.
McGill, 18 starts last year in his first big league experience. Wasn't even on the radar when the year began last year, but quickly moved up the food chain and became an important piece of the Mets rotation for most of the year. Down at first, easy play, and Pete makes it to retire the side. 3 scoreless innings from McGill, still 4-1 St. Louis.
Frank, we still alive?
Yeah.
Frank is indisposed at the moment.
I'm going to be live for another 10 minutes or so, 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
See if the Mets make a little bit of a rally.
Yeah.
I'd use the bathroom.
I'm not mad at you for having to use the bathroom, Frank.
All right, what's this another one? Ann's Dairy Cream in Glen Burnie.
You gonna go to a Dairy Cream place, Frank?
Is that a famous place?
I don't know.
No, I'm getting Raw Dog recommendations.
Raw dog, diggity dog. That's Frank. That would be good too. The cat dog tune, but raw dog, diggity dog. Raw dog, diggity dog.
How good does this look? You cannot get this from a microwave. Tavola, your secret weapon for impossibly human home cooking. Browse this week's meals at Tavola.com.
New world is here, brothers. Get MXR Fighters by Verizon. 2 channel $3.95 or $8.95 HD to see your offers.
New York Mets baseball on SN Live, brought to you by Toyota. Toyota's ready, set, go sales pitch.
I'll probably be live for maybe another 10, 20 minutes. We'll see how this inning goes, and then we'll see if we go further. If the Mets don't get close, I'm just going to end it here.
The live stream. We got to be specific, Frankie. Now you can't say on the live stream that if the Mets don't make it closer, you're going to end it.
Well, yeah, I'm talking about the live stream.
Next will be on Tuesday night, 6 o'clock start. 4 night games this spring. Coach Showalter wants to get his guys acclimated to play.
Yeah, the Mets did not play any night games the last few springs.
Mm-hmm.
And when the season started, they couldn't see the ball at night. But yeah, if Mets start taking regulars out, no need to continue watching.
Frank, should all baseball games be played during the day?
I think there should be a lot more day games. Yes. I don't think there should be any night games on Sunday. All Sunday games should be day games.
When's it coming, Gary?
You know, I was just about to ask you the same question. I know that they're experimenting again with it this year in the minor leagues. They've got to get the technology perfect, or at least close to perfect, before they'll institute it. But to me, what's fascinating about the eventual advent of the robot umpires is that the way catchers have been evaluated over the last decade has changed so dramatically based on pitch framing. And all of a sudden, when the robot umpires come into play, pitch framing will not exist anymore.
Boy, Lindor looks like he sucks again.
So every metric that measures the prowess of a catcher will change.
Well, I think it's going to be
Sunday night baseball should not exist. I remember the Mets had to play a Sunday night game and had to play a day game on fucking Monday the next day. That was fucking the absolute fucking worst. And they had to play in 2 different cities. Oh fuck, that's why the Mets are losing this game.
Oh yeah.
Yep. That's him, you know. The worst umpire that ever existed.
He's not on the place, though.
What?
He's not on the place.
No, but he just fucking sucks. His presence alone makes him suck. Jeff McFeeble is back.
Pete Alonso won. No, who won the home run derby?
Pete Alonso.
Pete Alonso won last year.
Yep, he's won the last 2 home run derbies.
Who But Megan Making Money picked Stanton.
She picked Joey Gallo.
Gallo, that's who it was.
Who basically finished last.
Yeah, that was her first pick at Barstool.
Yep.
People don't forget.
That's always going to be important. But, you know, so many catchers aren't even allowed to call.
All right, if the Mets don't score, if Pete Alonso doesn't get here and they just go down 1, 2, 3, the live stream will end. I'll do more live streams, more card openings. I got a lot of cards to open. Actually, you know what? I will go one more inning. That's what a live stream is. You do things at spur of moments.
Yeah, okay, there you go.
And that's all of the piece with a lot of the things we've seen. And, you know,
I'll be bringing out a different card set to open up. And I'll be doing different cards every now and then, doing different live card streams.
And not only get the game moving, but keep pitchers from throwing as max effort every pitch, right? Especially the relievers. Right? If you have to throw a pitch every 14 seconds, you're not going to be able to do the run throw thing quite the same way as if you are able to wait 40 seconds.
Well, at least he's having fun, right?
This was never even needed before.
That's what it's all about. Having fun.
All this shit is all new. Never needed this shit before. Never needed pitch clocks. Never needed. But this the fucking mindset now is ridiculous.
This is to Alonso, and it's 2-2. Got the shift on Pete. 3 infielders on the left.
But yeah, I personally, I think teams should make an effort to play more day games, especially in the summer, especially midweek Wednesday, Thursday game. There should definitely be more of those.
And I believe the Mets did it more. You know, more than they had.
So sad.
But it's a 1-2-3 for Jake Walsh. That sends us to the 7th. 4-1 St. Louis.
I look like about a foot outside. Oh, it's the Angel Hernandez crew. The Mets last year when Angel Hernandez was against his crew were 25 games under 500. They had him. They went through a 2-week stretch where he was an umpire, and they went 1-11. It's Angel Hernandez.
This was gonna bring the house down. It's the biggest game of the year. Why didn't you just watch it a year ago? I can't.
all I do is work. That's terrible. Oh, great. It's getting worse. Got DirecTV Stream. No sports channels, no NFL Network.
Not a good choice.
All right.
Limited channel.
Now these are a
You're
little
not
special.
going to wait to open them?
Well, should I open these now or should I wait and do these separate?
Wait. Nothing goes on like opening day or something.
Well, we're gonna be elsewhere on opening
Well,
day.
you know what I mean. Like a special occasion.
I got these cards here.
We'll open that. We'll do a Doug's Den.
All right, we're gonna do it. All right, change of plans again. I'm gonna do a special Doug's Den on these cards coming up.
86 Mets, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll do a Doug's Den on that.
We'll do a Doug's Den on these, so keep an eye on that. Well, I'll do these cards that I got yesterday. I thought these were, for some reason, I thought these were EuroLeague cards, but they're actually a assortment of Mets that were sent to me. Let me see who's in here. We got a Panini Prism Jacob Degrom card. It's a shame that they don't let them use the logos on here.
Well, Panini doesn't have a license.
Yeah, well, everyone should have a license like it used to be.
Everyone used to have a license?
Yes.
Topps didn't have the license with MLB since like the 50s.
Oh no, they had a license, but so did Donruss, so did Upper Deck, so did Score, so did Fleer. Everyone could show the logo. Steven Matz. Another. This is another Jacob Degrom. League Leaders card. Mets celebrate. They didn't do that much last couple of years. Ahmed Rosario. Here's a nice Bowman Chrome of Pete Alonso. Oh, I like this one. Brett Batty.
Straw hat was a good idea on a sunny day. Although the sun is dipped behind the clouds for the moment.
Topps Archives, Ron Darling. Let me see. This would have to be, judging by the Rawlings logo on the Rawlings on the sleeve. This is probably from 1990, this card.
He had stretches last year.
Pete Alonso, Jeff McFeeble, Franklin Killamy. When I saw him pitch, he was killing me. I mean, guy can throw the ball 100 miles per hour. And when he throws the ball 100 miles per hour, the batters hit it 200 miles per hour. We got Pete Alonso, another Pete Alonso card. Nice one here. This is a kind of a refractor, I guess they call this. Noah Syndergaard. I like this card. It's a Panini Prism Ace of Jacob Degrom.
Speaking of success, 3 scoreless innings for Tyler McGill.
Another Degrom. Tyler McGill looks pretty good.
Just momentarily, the huge right-hander, Mr. McGill, will be speaking with our.
Much better than David Peterson. And what sucks is Peterson's a lefty. The Mets need fucking lefties to actually get out there and be good. We got another Conforto. Don't know where he's going. Degrom. Now look at this one. They snuck a few Baby Yodas in here.
Oh no! Wait, what? Anything particular you're working on right now? Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, from the Star Wars set. That's
Snack Time Achieve.
Yeah, there's that's from the that's from one of the. I can't remember the name. It's like not Omicron, but it's something like that. The name of the set.
We got another one of the Child.
Tyler, how different was this offseason for you?
especially as you had a chance to kind of take in what happened last year.
That's the Mandalorian set.
I mean, like people say, once you get taste, you never want to leave. So I mean,
Oh, look at this one. I like this one. A red chrome Pete Alonso card.
Definitely felt like, in a way, like the COVID thing with the lockout, so weren't able to talk to any of the front office.
Marcus Stroman, Chicago. You're gonna love him. He's gonna block a lot of you too.
I do have to ask you about that training because
Miguel Castro. Is he still on the team? I don't know if he's still on the team. I haven't heard much of him.
Where you just throw up against a wall underneath the highway overpass, right? Now, after
Doug's,
you establish yourself in the
I now feel embarrassed. I'm concentrating on the cards. I asked if Miguel Castro's still on the Mets. He's on the fucking mound.
Yeah.
No, I'm not coming down this year for spring training. I want to go to spring training one year, but I want to go before the tournament starts, not after the tournament starts. You know what I mean? I want to go like the first week of March. So next year, first week of March, I'll be down there. Joey Lucchese, hopefully he's comes back soon. Taiwan Walker, Louis Guillorme,
keep it going. Maybe with this, obviously you know the situation.
Kevin Pillar.
Pitchers that were brought in here, and the fact that
Don't even know where he's at anymore.
At the beginning, what is your mentality in this camp heading into this season, where you had success? With
Another Franklin killing me. Here it is. What are his stats? Yeah, here it is. 11-12 ERA. That's Franklin killing me. Travis Blankenhorn. If we see Travis Blankenhorn again, the Mets suck. Players like that, or players that, when you hear players' names like that, you know that nothing good's happening. Khalil Lee. Actually, Khalil Lee's rookie card. Got to learn plate discipline. He has to learn. And here is a Lindor card. Does anyone open cards quite like me?
No. I'm confident saying that is a no. Frank, you're one of a kind.
Looking overpowering so far in his inning.
I do not like fish. The only fish I eat comes in a yellow box with a fisherman on it. Someone also sent me this 49ers team set and a Giants team set. Interesting. Here it is. Good inning by Miguel Castro.
Yeah.
Had a good year last year. If he pitches good again, that would be very helpful. One of the rare good trades that idiot Brody Van Wagenen made.
Your nightly source for all things New York sports. Wait until you see how they finish things off. Geico Sports Night. All night, every night, starting at 11 p.m. Only at SNY. Madonna at AmericanEagle.com is monitoring a website with dozens of integrated systems. So if anything goes wrong, she'll spring into action before you even notice. Nothing gets by Madonna.
But this last inning will be my last inning. So hopefully the Mets actually make it a good inning. I mean, I'll be streaming Met games. I'll be streaming a lot more games over the next over the summer. I might even stream a a game this week. So keep an eye out. I got a lot of cards to open up. I got this box to open up. 2000 Heritage. I got opening day baseball cards. And I got this one, which is 1995 Fleer. Definitely looking forward to opening up this. The kind of the end of the junk pack era. But we'll see if there's any interesting cards in here. The 95 Fleer set was the funkiest set ever. They had 6 different designs for each different division. Kind of like Fleer's Death Rattle.
You mean they had a different design for each division?
Yes.
Or they had 6 for each division?
No, they had 6 designs, 1 for each division.
Okay, okay. Well,
See,
that's kind of good, so you know what division, what division based on the card designs.
Yeah, so for example, the American League West cards look like this. American League Central cards look like this.
Well, we're just talking about the border, right? The border or the type of like the format of the card?
The format of the cards. But when we open the packs, we'll get a definite better look.
Robinson Cano leads off against the veteran right-hander Zach Mcallister.
McAllister's arm angle's dropped a little bit since he was drafted by the Yankees. Veteran right-hander. Pitched for the Cleveland Indians and the Tigers.
Some decent years in Cleveland. They let him go in 18.
Robinson Cano has got to go.
But he hasn't been back to the big leagues since 2018.
Why do you say that?
He's 40. He's a 2-time steroid junkie loser. They got to just eat his contract. Give him the Bobby Bonilla treatment.
He's got the sweet swing here, and still got the bat speed. Look at the level follow through on that belt drive fastball. That's the first hit by the Mets since the second inning. It's a nice hand from the crowd. Was Robbie.
He's done. Mark Vientos will run for him. That's their base prospects. The other one, Brett Beatty, at the plate right now.
So it's Beatty, it's not Batty.
Could be Batty.
I've heard it was Batty all this time.
Yeah. A lot of conversation when Beatty was drafted.
This is one of Mets' top 4 prospects.
He was drafted out of high school.
Where are they going to trade him to?
The feeling was that, as a 19-year-old coming out of high school, he was less valued than an 18-year-old would. But
12th overall.
And he's trending toward the big leagues.
Is he playing Binghamton right now?
He might be in Syracuse this year. He ended the season last year in Binghamton.
Okay.
He started. In fact, the Cyclones are having Brett Beatty bobblehead day.
No.
Yes.
Really?
Yep. He was at the Cyclones half of the season last year.
So they're gonna have a bobblehead of him?
Yep.
I mean, Frank, I don't want to.
It's minor leagues. What do you expect him to do? They had to do this is a top prospect.
I don't know.
It's a 6 o'clock start Tuesday.
I don't know, for a bobblehead of a. I mean, he's not even at your AAA level yet.
He will be.
Yeah, but hold on. So it's already planned though, right?
Yeah.
So he's not there yet. So this was like planned well before time, well before ahead of schedule.
Basically, he's a top 4 prospect in the organization.
Well, who's the other 3?
The other 3 are
Two of them are with the Cyclones right now, right?
Probably going to be up from the Cyclones. Mark Vientos, who actually right now is pinch running at second base.
He's number one?
No.
He's number two.
He's 4. Francisco Alvarez, the catcher, is number 1. And
wait, you said Beatty was top 4.
Yeah. Beatty's probably 3. Vientos is
Here's my thing. If you say somebody's a top 4, that means they're number 4.
Well, it depends who you talk to.
When you talk to Frank the Tank, it could be 1 through 4.
Yes.
It's the same like when a college says, "Oh, we're the, we're like in the top." If a college says we're in the top 27, that means they're 27. Because otherwise they would say top 25. If they say top 25, that means that they're after 20. Because you would never say you're in the top 25 if you're number 19. If you're number 19, you say top 20.
Well, the top prospect is probably Francisco Alvarez.
And what position is he?
Catcher.
And he's with Cyclones?
He was last year. He'll probably
Cyclones?
probably start the year in Binghamton.
Okay, so he'll probably start the year in Binghamton. He's with the Cyclones right now.
He finished last year with the Cyclones, yes.
Frank, I need you to say he's with the Cyclones. He finished last season with the Cyclones, right?
Yes.
He's not with Binghamton yet, right?
Well, nobody has been assigned yet anyway.
Okay, so he's okay. All right. So he could be in New York next year.
If they put him on the fast track, yes, he could be at the Mets at the end of the year.
Yeah.
This is another top prospect right here. This is what I want to see.
Is he top 7?
Top 4.
Oh, so he's top 4 as well.
Yes.
Everybody's top 4.
Yeah, the top 4 prospects are Alvarez,
Beatty,
Mauricio,
and
Vientos. Yes.
All right, so those are the top 4.
Yes.
All right. So
I saw
as of last season, 2 of the top 4 prospects were playing for the Brooklyn Cyclones.
Yes.
And they're going to have a bobblehead.
Yes. And they're also going to have bobbleheads of Mauricio and Alvarez.
I mean, what are we doing here, Frank?
That's the Cyclones. And that was a very disappointing at bat from Mauricio.
Well, I mean, so they're just going to have bobbleheads of the top 4 prospects?
Yeah.
Who are they not having a bobblehead of? That's in the top 4.
I don't think they're having a Vientos bobblehead.
Why not?
I don't know.
Is he the catcher?
No.
See what position does he play?
They're leaning it. They're basically grooming him for the outfield. Right now, he's actually pinch running at second.
How many bobbleheads have Brooklyn Cyclones given away that next year?
I don't know. Let me look that up.
But you know they're having bobbleheads of those players.
Well, they sent me the Mets still haven't released their full promotional schedule yet.
The shrimp still. I have a few bobbleheads from different teams. The jumbo shrimp, they're George Costanza.
Yes.
Jerk store bobblehead is my favorite bobblehead.
Let me see.
Frank, what's your number 1 bobblehead? We got to do a Dunston of your bobblehead collection. But what's your number 1? Like there's a fire in your apartment right now, and you can only grab 1 bobblehead. Oh, he dropped it.
2 runs with a score. Parker barely missing a 3-run homer, and Newcomb almost made another great catch. But it's a 2-run double for Parker, and it kicks the Cardinal lead to 4-3.
It would probably go to. It would have to be one of the bobbleheads over here. These are my top bobbleheads over here.
Yeah. So those ones over there are kind of like whatever. They're like
No, the whatever ones are in my bedroom.
So the top ones over here, or the ones in the cases?
Well, some of them just don't fit in cases. But I think the top one might be the Jesse Orozco on his knees from the '86 World Series.
Yeah.
Or the Mr. Met with Chewbacca.
Yeah. Now that '86 Met, are these all bobbleheads that you've gotten from Citi Field or Shea Stadium, like at Mets games, or they're bobbleheads that the Mets have given out?
For the most part.
Maybe you didn't get them, but
for the most part,
you bought them all online or something.
Most of these I've actually gotten through giveaways.
Yeah. Wasn't there an issue last year with the bobblehead where like you couldn't drive, like you had to drive to Citi Field in order to get it?
That was 2 years ago.
2 years ago?
Yeah.
So how'd that work out?
They ended up sending it to me.
Yeah.
I have a good ticket rep.
14 have been their record.
Let's see.
Bud's going to have to do a few more things if he wants to have that candy bar game.
Here it is. Brett Beatty bobblehead is April 30th at in Brooklyn.
Yeah. Carlos Cortez batting for the first time. He's got a little Mazzilli in him in that he's a natural left-hander. When he was 8 years old.
Mets are having a Bugs Bunny bobblehead. Francisco Alvarez bobblehead is May 21st. Superman bobblehead is June 11th. A lot of bobbleheads at Brooklyn.
There's a lot of bobbleheads.
That's it out to right center field. Newpark closing on it.
Oh.
And he slides and he makes the catch.
I don't think. Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of bobbleheads for one season.
Cortez gets Newpark.
Usually, I don't know, for the minor league teams that I follow, you don't really get, you know.
June 4th is bobblehead election. Fans will vote: mustard, relish, or ketchup. What is their top condiment on hot dogs? If God forbid those fucking assholes both ketchup.
Then they're gonna give away a ketchup bobblehead.
A ketchup on a hot dog bobblehead.
I mean, it has to be mustard, right?
It would have to be mustard.
It has to be mustard.
Has to be mustard.
Relish is disgusting. Who's that?
They're giving away a Friends bobblehead on July 9th.
Who is the friend?
I think it might be Joey, but it's in a Cyclones uniform with the turkey on its head.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Joey's the one that stuck his head into turkey.
Yeah.
They're doing a Seinfeld night again on August 6th.
What are they giving away there?
Yada. Puffy shirt. They're giving away a marbled rye.
Nice.
Like ornament of the fishing pole trying to get the marbled rye.
Wait, it's an ornament? Like a Christmas ornament?
Kind of looks like that.
Get 0% APR for 36 months, plus $500 purchase allowance on the 2022 Cadillac XT4, XT5, and XT6. Visit your local Cadillac dealer today.
And all the latest Mets and Yankees spring training.
I guess no love for Mauricio. I don't see a Mauricio bobblehead. Just Alvarez and Beatty. So that shows you that Beatty's probably number 2.
Top 4. I mean, really, you could say he's top 20. You could say he's top 30, top 40.
I mean, it only took 7 innings.
Oh, here it is. Okay, there is a Mauricio bobblehead. So Yeah.
It's a lot of bobbleheads, right?
It is a lot of bobbleheads.
If you're in Brooklyn and you like bobbleheads, go to Cyclones games.
That indeed.
You're giving them away for free.
The Cardinal fans are nuding because Lars Nootbaar's coming into play. Sean Marie Foley's on the back.
All right. I'll be doing more bobbleheads in the future. Did I say more bobbleheads in the future? I'll be doing more live streams in the future, so I'll catch you around, and we'll see if the Mets can actually win this game. But I'll see you next time, and maybe I'll do one next week, or maybe I'll live stream a college basketball game at the end of the week, the St. Peter's game. Who knows? I'll see how I feel.